Dear listener, ClockTower is intended for mature audiences and might be inappropriate or possibly triggering to some. Many of the themes and events in ClockTower are inspired by weird fiction as well as similar concepts, which means the show can get dark.
If that isn't something you enjoy, please listen at your own discretion. We here at the ClockTower care about you, so please put your mental health first. Our show will be here when you're ready.
Welcome to another episode of ClockTower, a D&D 5e experience. For those of you familiar with 5th edition, keep in mind that all of our players are playing a custom class called the ClockTower Agent. We also play with a lot of house rules in our games that we as a group collectively enjoy. We explain these rules as they come up, so if you're just joining us, you may need to listen back to previous episodes just to clear up any confusion. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and welcome to the ClockTower. As all of the ClockTower agents stand outside of the shelter they were just in, David Henry, their new friend, seems to be puzzling over the new information they've just acquired as he says to himself, 15 people. I was worried that it might be more, but 15.
We need to get moving fast.
I agree. But with this new information, do we change plans or do we keep following leads we've already got? Seems people are disappearing in the city at an unbelievable rate. Might be people that some think no one cares about, but everybody's important. Everyone has something that they can do, something that makes them special, and if even one person's going missing, that's not good. But 15.
I think we should probably look at the crime scene, right? That was our original plan, after all.
That and the new symbol that Jaeger had found.
Yes, and Jaeger pulls out his little paper that he uses as a sketch pad and holds it up to the rest of the group. This symbol, maybe we can find it somewhere near the crime scene and work from there to figure out what's going on a bit better.
Right. I still think we should, after we look at the crime scene, use the waterways where we found that symbol and track it back to the basin. I'm fairly sure if anything got dumped in there, it'd wash back.
I agree.
That's true. All right, let's go.
All right, we'll get back in my boat and we'll go over as fast as we can. Everybody, one step at a time. Don't rock the boat. Careful as you're getting in.
Is there anything we can do to help it go faster?
It's a rowboat, son. I don't know that you understand how those work.
You know?
I mean, if we had more oars, maybe you could help row, but also there are laws of how fast you can row your boat in the
So
city.
if I put my hands and try to paddle that way, it wouldn't
You know
help
what?
at all?
Give it your best shot.
Okay.
You could
Thank you,
probably
sir.
use your sword.
His what? Your what?
Oh,
Metaphors. It's metaphoric.
Please don't put your sword in the water.
It's probably a better idea.
You'll get pregnant and die.
so sorry.
Also, if you're gonna paddle with your sword, it's mostly empty. There's a giant hole in it.
Maybe don't use a whole sword.
If I believe anything is possible.
As all of you get in the boat, and Private Investigator Henry starts rowing the boat to the quickest of his ability. Rock, do you try and paddle on the side of the boat?
I do.
Roll.
I want to help. I really want to help. Would this be? Can I make this athletics? Just like powerhouse in the water. 9.
Cool. Can you roll me an insight check as well?
You think he's gonna pass this? You think they've had any insight this whole campaign?
Now's your moment.
Is it a 1?
It's a 1.
Oh my god, that's perfect. You think you're doing so well.
You look over
You're
and
like, the boat's going so much faster. You're having a great time.
Rock is like holding one side like really aggressively and like paddling like with his arm just on his hyper speed with a really determined face, just like going for it.
Also, like, gotta be the biggest smile ever, because you feel like you're just like,
I'm helping.
You're doing so well. You're like, we're gonna save these people. Just like splashing on the water. You guys just see Rock go and you're like, huh.
The rest of us just see Rock like staring toward and like hitting the top of it, like bap, 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 bap.
Well, I mean, the athletics check wasn't the worst thing in the world. So Rock is actually like paddling. It's just not doing much, but Rock feels like they're helping so much.
Reagan face palms.
Despite the dire circumstances, David also like smiles at what Rock is doing. And after a decent amount of time, you manage to make your way down to the crime scene. When you get there, you manage to dock the boat, not like at an actual dock, but on part of the area of like where the stone walkway is low enough to the water that you can kind of climb up. And he moors his boat on like a part of a building nearby with the extra rope that he has. And when he climbs out, he takes you guys like down the street a little bit and off the path, specifically where the path would turn to go on the side of a building. He goes off of that curve and like climbs down under a bridge. And on the other side of the bridge, there's this like kind of stone platform that is in the shadow of several buildings. And he climbs down into an area that is overshadowed by the bridge and is sort of a stone plateau by the canalway. And there is a sort of makeshift tarp pulled down that turns the entire area into a kind of tent. And it's not just one little area like that. There's tons of them tucked as this like pretty wide bridge goes along a narrow like walkway underneath it. That it's obviously not meant for like pedestrians to just be walking on. It's part of like the stone foundation that they ended up building the bridge over here at some point anyway. And there's like extra space that people without a home have been making use of. It seems quite a few people. However, it doesn't seem that anybody else is here, and it also is starting to get pretty dark. The sun is like turning the sky orange on the horizon, where you can see like the ocean by Valance. And it's one of those rare moments where, despite the chaos for what is your normal lives, it's really beautiful. The clouds look like they're painted in the sky, and the ocean has this almost musical quality to it as it goes in and out.
Jaeger reaches into his pocket and pulls out his watch. Just checks the time.
You look and you see that you have an hour and 30 minutes left.
Jaeger just sort of glances toward the rest of the team and looks down at his watch and sort of motions his eyes toward it, like letting them know we don't have a lot of time.
All right, we gotta be a little bit speedier.
Okay, I think I'm going to search this area here along the waterline, make sure there's nothing possibly coming up that I don't know.
See if anything washes up on
Yeah.
the sides. That's a good idea.
Whatever you do, be careful. You don't want to fall into the canal here. The current's very strong. It will sweep you out into the ocean. Basin? I'm not very familiar with the city's waterway terms.
Can we swim?
All right, well,
It's dangerous. That's what I'm saying.
well, thank you. I might have to get a little bit close. I'm just gonna look for that symbol that my friend showed us.
Seems like a good idea.
Yeah. Sam, if it's no problem, I'll probably join you in just purveying the area, looking
Sure.
for that symbol.
I love comparing notes with you.
Awesome. We will get started on that then.
It does not take you guys long, nor does it require a roll, because as you get underneath the bridge, you see that in like big chalk drawings, there is not only that symbol, but a bunch of other strange glyphs around that symbol, as that symbol is like the big, very large centerpiece. And the glyphs look familiar because they look like ClockTower runes.
Would any of the symbols besides the runes, would any of them resemble anything regarding Ohm from our studies, or is it just mainly ClockTower runes?
You know what? You guys do have a lot of studies on Ohm and the ClockTower glyphs, so roll.
Would that be a history?
Yeah.
Good. We got it.
I'd say like probably history or investigation.
History works because you have previously investigated this
Yeah.
stuff.
Cal, do you want to also roll, or do you want to?
Since we both have advantage on this, I think we should probably both roll.
Yeah, I agree.
That's very smart.
Okay, that's not bad at all. What'd you get?
So glad we have advantage. My first roll was a 1, but my second roll was a 19.
Nice.
And my first roll was a 7, and my second roll, added with my bonus, is also a 19.
I forgot we have a bonus, in which case my roll's a 24.
Nice.
So you got 19. you don't recognize any symbols about all. You start cross-referencing any notes that you could remember, and you're like, no. And you think this one in the corner might say something about something relating to light, and then Sam pleasantly reminds you that symbol is not the symbol for light, it's the symbol for shadow. And then Sam starts looking at all of the glyphs, and Sam, they kind of piece together in your mind, and as you're reading them, you kind of get the picture that all of them are saying. And it says, as the sun sets low, the shadow man comes to take us away. And in the distance, you hear a pile of junk fall over, and you see some sort of like hunched over figure with like a ragged cloak kind of shroud over it, rummaging through something at the end of this. I want to say it's a walkway, but at the end of the stone plateau.
Rock, this is Shadow Man is definitely connected to what we're doing.
I had a feeling that was the case. Does Rock also hear the junk rattle?
I think all of you do. And as all of you hear that, David goes, "Excuse me, sir. We have a few questions we'd like to ask you."
Dumbass.
And he walks up, and with that same sort of like elegant flourish, he whips out his notebook and pen and goes, "Do you mind if I take your name?" And as he does that, the figure that's crouched over turns and stands up. And as it stands up, its shroud falls away from it. And it stands at a height of about 7'8". It is long and thin, a very lithe build, and it's got very like visible muscular structure underneath its like thin frame. Its fingers are long and have black claws at the end, but what stands out to you most is that the lower half of its body looks similar to that of a goat. But the fur on its legs and tufts on its arms and shoulders and on its chest seem to be white and really wispy, almost more like the wispy hairs that grow on fungus than animal fur. Its skin is like an almost iridescent white and blue. And as you look up to its face is like perfectly symmetrical and would seem very beautiful if it didn't look so alien in the fact that its eyes are slightly too wide apart and its pupils are sideways like a goat's. Its hair on the top of its head is the same sort of very thick, wispy, fungal-like hairs that seem to like stand almost spirit-like in the still air, and two horns stretch back and up, much like an antelope. It stands and looks at David, and David goes, "What?
I jump in front of David.
That was very smart. That ruined what I was about to do." Well, in that case, roll a reflex or roll a dex save.
Should we all roll initiative? Because I have another thing I also want to do.
Yeah, everybody roll initiative.
Yay. You know, for the first time,
Am
Rock
I
was
rolling
gonna...
initiative or a dex save?
You are rolling a dex save first.
For the first time, Rock was just going to be like, what if we talk to him? Like, he might just be looking weird.
I mean, I'm still down to talk to it personally, but I'm also have that reflexive hold person.
You dumb baby.
My dex save was 12.
What's the initiative order?
Who's got the highest?
24.
I got an 18.
Cool.
11.
5.
Golden rocks.
Slower than shit. Really bad reaction times.
Which is strange considering that you're, supposed to be the frontline damage dealer.
I feel like Rock was looking and went, tall.
Yeah.
And then
Rock was looking like, okay, maybe he just looks a little weird, but we could still talk to him.
You were overwhelmed by tall goth lady.
it is, I mean, I tall goat lady is not completely inaccurate. It does look very feminine and like its build.
Stop.
It's got that sort of like very effeminate, ethereal energy about it, but it also tall goat NB.
Yeah. Oh no.
And as Reagan, you see this thing, and David's just like completely dumbstruck, as would be expected of a normal human detective seeing what can only be really described to him as some sort of eldritch creature. He stands there dumbstruck, and the creature looks at all of you, and you hear it doesn't speak out loud, but it speaks in sort of an area of effect speak in your mind.
Telepathy.
Yeah, but it's not to one person, it is to everybody at once.
Oh.
Like it wouldn't be direct to you guys. Like David hears this as well.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm saying. Like normally when things telepathy speak, it's like to one person, to other person, but you can all hear what it's saying. And it says, "ClockTower dogs," as it goes to backhand David, but Reagan jumps in front of David, so Reagan gets backhanded, and immediately you're going to take 6 damage as you get knocked into the canal.
Oh no.
Question, how does uncanny dodge work?
You cut the damage in half.
Great. Always?
Yeah. if you
Always and forever?
So here's the
That's
thing.
all.
Here's the thing about uncanny dodge. It requires your reaction. So every round of combat you have action, bonus action, movement, and then at any point during the combat you can use your reaction if you have an ability that allows you to use it. You specifically do, because your Path of the South class feature is that ability.
Oh wait, can you riposte this?
Yeah, I was gonna say, couldn't you stop this from even hitting you?
You totally could. That would also take your reaction.
Then I want to shoot it.
Roll.
Shooty shoot.
Get it frame perfect.
21.
I'm pretty sure that hits.
I'm pretty sure that's frame perfect.
And I'm pretty sure the ability goes, if you hit, you negate it, right?
Nice.
Well, that's changing the plans a bit.
Ooh.
It goes to backhand you. You jump in front of David, and you, like, manage to quick draw your pistol just fast enough, and you shoot its hand, and a hole rips through this creature's hand as it, like, the force of that makes its hand completely spin the opposite direction, and it hisses as it, like, the hiss you don't hear out loud. Again, you hear it in all of your heads, and it's holding its hand as, like, this dark purple blood just immediately drops to the ground in big globs. It's now Jaeger's turn.
Jaeger's gonna take his turn to grab David Henry by the back of his coat jacket and drag him backward. And as he does so, he says to the creature and Reagan, wait. You can talk. Talk to us first. Don't just start swinging. And that's gonna end his turn as he pulls David back and away from it.
Okay, Sam?
Sam lets a spell glow with the tip of their pipe and is kind of dead-eyeing this creature and about to cast it. And then they hear Jaeger's words and kind of holds their action. Sam is going to hold the person until this creature attacks or makes a motion to attack to try and interrupt it.
Okay.
Rock, also standing from their position, is going to not pull their sword out and more so just kind of put their hands in front of them with the, hey, let's talk first before anything happens. Also knowing that if they pull out a giant sword in front of David, it's going to be very hard to explain. At least the others have, like, guns, and he hasn't done any magic yet, so it looks somewhat normal for us.
I will say Sam is literally, like, the end of their pipe is glowing right now.
Is David seeing that right now?
David is looking at the 7 fucking
Then we're
almost
good.
8 foot tall.
I'm not going to reveal that we're eldritch beings until it's time to reveal that we're eldritch beings.
Okay.
So I'm also, as a talking free action, let's talk first. We apologize. We want to talk.
I will also say this is very rushed. All of Jaeger's like, use your words, talk to us, and Brock's like, we just want to talk. We just want to talk. We just want to talk.
Just want to talk. And that's my turn.
Reagan. I also did that out of order, but it's fine.
It doesn't matter. Reagan puts his gun down and says, sorry, you were going to hurt the man. This is not his fight. Disengage and reload. Bonus action.
Nice.
Okay.
Tactical.
As you all stand together and look at the creature, it looks back at you, and you can tell that the look on its face is not one of wanting anything to do with you. It is one of extreme contempt. And as it looks at all of you, you hear again in your minds it scoff as it says,
I know better than to be burned by fallen stars.
and it's going to turn over its shoulder and jump through reality. It's not an attack. As Sam's like, what the you're kind of thrown off as it went away instead of toward, because everything else has tried to kill you guys.
I was expecting a fireball, I'll be honest.
And it jumps through like a tear that it kind of just like wipes at the air and like dives through, and then the tear quickly just behind it. as David goes, "What was that? What's going on?
I think that was your shadow man.
That's probably Shadow Man.
What was it talking about? The clock tower? Are all of you from that agency?"
Yeah, in a way. You could consider us to be, detectives from multiple places.
He pushes Jaeger's hands off of him and stands up and turns around and looks at all of you and says, "All of you better start shooting straight with me right now. If we're dealing with some kind of monster, I need to know what we're up against, and I need to know what you do, anything that all of you know."
All right. Should we just try it clean this time? I think we're just going to try it clean this time. That's definitely probably not from here. What you just saw is probably a Shadow Man, probably a monster. We basically hunt those things and try to take care of them.
Not those things in particular.
Not those things, but
they don't really
things,
talk to us. Is a thing.
Yeah, that.
Generally,
Usually they just kind of attack. That's our job. We're here to fix things in regards to monsters that inhabit worlds that shouldn't, et cetera, et cetera.
You went way deeper than you had to.
Probably, but you know what? I'm tired of lying a little bit.
So let me see if I've got this straight. You're from some place called the Clock Tower, and you're here to fix this.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the general gist.
All right, we don't have time to debate about it. Where did it go?
Good question.
They normally don't run away.
I should have marked him.
You get him next time, Reagan.
I mean, probably back to its nest, right? I assume it was here to probably clean up its mess or look for more food.
I'd say we keep looking for the same signs because that's what led us to here. You know, Sam was able to pretty much decipher the runes, so we just need to find more of them. This seem to be its hiding places.
Jaeger's going to step forward toward where the creature was standing, sort of kneel down and motion Reagan over with him and try to get the creature's sort of a footprint or any sort of possible fur that might have fallen off or a footprint or anything that would give us some
Did the
sort
blood
of
drip?
plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Blood dripped onto the floor?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm essentially looking for pieces of it or any other clues that we could get. Maybe it has some sort of grime on its feet from somewhere where it may have came from or something like that.
Well, you look for grime on its feet. There's grime all over this fucking place. Not to be...
Were its footprints wet?
No.
Did it leave a footprint at all in said grime?
It didn't really, not really. It's kind of very ethereal, light on its feet kind of a thing. Its blood did drip on the ground. And did you say you were looking around where it was looking?
Yeah.
You turn over a couple more things, and the only thing you can see is that buried under some of the junk that it kind of knocked over is a teddy bear where it was digging.
I pick up the teddy bear.
Rock's eyes widen
It
ever
seems
so
like
slightly.
it seems like a hand-sewn teddy bear made out of furry material, like blankets, various other different furry materials.
Is that a teddy bear?
Yes, it is, and it's also where that thing was looking. So I'm hoping
Was it
maybe if I have this, it'll try to come find it.
Was it placing it there or was it trying to find it? Is the
I
question.
don't know.
Here, can I see it if you don't mind?
David looks around as he pulls out his notebook and starts writing out a description, and he says, "If only I'd known what was going on the entire time. I could have tried to grab it or tackle it or something."
No, man, you
Probably not the best idea.
did the best you could in this situation.
You're right. You don't get do-overs. Got to take it as you go.
Yep, just one try.
Maybe
I understand.
Maybe let us worry about.
David turns
It's-
over to the to the rest of the surrounding area and starts trying to write things down.
Reagan checks his pocket watch.
Got
It's 15 minutes?
it was an hour 30 when you guys got here, so probably an hour and 15. Yeah.
Okay, Jaeger, can I see the teddy bear?
And Jaeger just sort of looks at Rock and just a small smile crosses his face as he passes it over.
I'm gonna look at the teddy bear for any markings on it. If they're just kind of look it over. Is there anything there? And also, can I feel the texture of it to see if there's anything inside of it?
There doesn't. I mean, it feels squishy.
Cool.
And as you feel the texture, you feel something kind of hard in the middle of it, and you feel it, and then you hear a squeak, squeak.
Guys, I think we might have found it. I think this is the thing they were looking for. Listen.
Squeak, squeak.
Jaeger, no, Reagan, give me your sword. Give me your...
What?
I don't think... All right.
Are you gonna cut open the doll?
There's something inside of it. It might
It's
be
a
what it was trying to
it's a
look for or
squeaker.
get.
Okay, wait, Rock.
I don't know if you realize, but that a lot of stuff animals squeak.
What? No, my last stuffed animal didn't squeak.
Well, Not every stuffed animal squeaks, but a lot of them do.
So
You're not very bright, are you, son?
I mean, we love them anyways.
Are there dogs in this world?
You assume, yeah. 2 years of knowledge, yeah.
is there any signs on the bear at all? Is it just a teddy bear?
It looks like a handmade teddy bear.
Look, I feel like it's less what's inside the bear and more the bear itself.
You are probably right. And as he says that, Rock's gonna stare at you and just put the teddy bear into like a jacket pocket.
Jaeger's grin just widens.
David says, I don't know how many more clues we're going to be able to turn up here. Son, bring your bear. We'll head back to the office. We'll start pulling together our clues. We'll figure out where to go next tomorrow.
All right, Steven and I will make sure we get as many clues as we can.
You named it.
Very quickly.
Excellent. All right. Back in the boat.
Side note, if that thing was looking for that, it's going to come back for it.
Exactly.
Yes. So, be ready. And he just sort of gets in the boat.
I don't know if we have that much time.
Rock will say audibly, I don't think we should go back to the office per se. We need to keep looking for these sigils.
That thing just jumped into space. Like
Yeah,
some
that
sort of
happens.
science fiction novel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Fair.
know how to jump into space unless that's something all of you can do.
I don't know. It is not.
No, it is not.
I think that we should head back to the office.
No, these things seem like it's hiding places, though. We just need to find another one, and we can bridge the gap between that. What's going back to the office?
All right. Well, I do know that there's another small living situation under another bridge on the other side of the city. We could go there.
That's gonna take too long.
I feel like we needed more triangulate locations between each of these symbols. So we know there was one on the waterway further in to the city itself.
If we head back to the office, I'm sure that I can triangulate all the different sightings and add this one to it.
I agree. I think we should kind of compile our findings first, and then Sam checks their pocket watch. And then we can catch them again next time.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
Kind
you're
of leave
right.
that as a checkpoint, and then jump back and try and catch them.
Okay.
And then get them on the next time when they run.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll follow them in if we could.
True.
How long is it gonna take to get how long is it gonna take to get back to the office?
Well, we're going up the canal, so it'll take considerably longer. Maybe less time if you help paddle.
Rock
And-
flexes a little bit.
Should be able to get there in 40 minutes.
It'll have to do it. Let's go.
All right. Rock rolls both of their sleeves up.
And you guys all get in the boat.
You should make sure you don't get your bear wet.
Oh, that's right. Jaeger, hold Steven.
Come here, Stephen.
And as you guys row and make your way back to the office, well, I should say as Rock rows and you all make your way back to the office, you don't have to roll. You eventually get there. All of you kind of like can already feel it before it happens. You're making your way up the stairs and you get into the detective's offices and start looking at all the information. And he's like halfway through a sentence of, all right, so I'm pretty sure if we saw the creature here and the other sightings are here, and I can mark this one, and this one here, and then like a crushing wave. The office, Detective David Henry, all of you are washed away, and you're back on the couch in the clock tower, having run out of time.
I think that was a really great second trip.
I actually would agree, and it seems like from what he said, he would have just appreciated if we would have told him straight. So we could
Yeah.
theoretically just go there, be like, hey, we're monster hunters. There's a problem in the city. We have things we need to fix. Here are the things we have. Here's some information, and we could probably just go from there.
I agree. And plus, I feel like maybe we should do things the same way until after the shelter, and then let them know on the trip there, and tell them that we've
Ooh, we
seen a monster
could-
in the area.
We could get the jump
Sam,
on.
will you roll an insight check for me?
Sure.
We could theoretically get the jump on the Shadow Man, since we know that they're going to be there.
Mm-hmm. That was my thought, actually.
That's just Nate.
Yeah, you think telling them about the monster's a great idea.
Oh, okay.
I feel like he seems like the type of person who wants to be the very front of everything, and not in the bad way, but more like he cares, and he wouldn't want us to go in before him, and might get himself hurt anyway.
Interesting.
I feel like it might be better because him freezing up in that moment essentially let Reagan get him out of that situation.
So do we want to try to go back to the exact moment Reagan shot the beast,
Yes.
and then instead of trying to talk to it, actually take it?
Yeah. Or at least have Sam's idea of whatever we want to do pop off.
We know that it's there, so it won't catch us off guard this time. we can go in knowing.
Right. I can cast my spells, make it hold still for at least a minute if I'm thinking about it.
And then I can mark it and we can see where it goes.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So Sam will hold it, you mark it, and then you marking it, you can feel it pretty much anywhere within the city, right?
I should be able to.
That way we can see where it goes. I think that's a decent idea.
Yeah.
Because I don't think outright destroying it is the best move. At least not right now.
No, there could be more.
There could be, and there's more people
something like
we could try to get.
We could save the people who it took, if it is even the one that took them.
Plus, if it left these markings, or someone left these markings that are in our language, right? That
Yeah.
means that there's probably more. And if we can find its nest or its main place, we can learn more information.
And at its main nest, it might have information about the stranger.
Right.
Right.
That sounds like a plan to me.
Well, Sam's gonna roll their shoulders and stand next to the mirror. After you all.
Might
You
as
guys
well.
Going back through the mirror?
Yep.
Yes.
Are you starting the mission over, or do you want to do everything the same up to a certain point?
I think we're going to do everything the same up to a certain point. And just to make sure the group is good with it, we're going to do it after the homeless shelter, on the way to the first.
I thought we were gonna do it after Reagan fires a shot.
No, because
I thought we were going to do it right before that.
right before that, because that way Sam can hold person on the thing messing with the junk, Reagan can mark it, and then we can see where it goes.
To be fair, we could also pull out the teddy bear and see if it reacts to that at all.
Maybe. Well, I personally would like to go with the whole person mark.
Oh no, I do. I'm saying, but we can walk around it and get the teddy bear and pull it out and see if it reacts.
Okay.
So, the plan is to go right before Reagan fires the shot that would save David.
I think it's gonna be right when we get out of the boat in that area.
We need what's the exact moment we're thinking?
I was thinking as soon as we see the figure, not before it reveals itself. Like right before it reveals itself.
So as soon as we hear the junk noise?
I feel like that's probably perfect, yeah.
Because that way
Sure.
Sam is the first one who hears it, turns around, hold person,
Yeah.
then you mark.
Yeah.
We just need to make sure David doesn't get swiped.
Yeah.
So, Sam hears it, hold person,
Or
you mark it, and then I'll try to hold David back a little bit.
question, should we do it right after it reveals itself so that David at least knows that there's a
that's a good
monster
point.
and we're not just magic
Yeah.
Fair.
for no
that's a good
reason?
point.
Fair,
Or
yeah.
that we're not just attacking a poor homeless person.
Yeah.
So as soon as it reveals itself, instead of you shooting it, do you want to mark it? Can you take that hit?
I can totally take the hit.
All right. So as soon as you step in front of it, instead of
I will say, as a DM tip, the sequence of events is that Reagan gets the riposte shot, and then it is Reagan's turn before the creature.
Yep.
that is true.
Okay,
Then
so
we'll just
we
do
can
it right
do
after
it.
the shot.
the creature.
We can do it up until...
I would say right after you riposte.
Yeah,
Or
because
like
then
right-
Sam doesn't hold person. Sam just casts hold person.
And Jaeger has a
Perfect.
turn before me.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So, all of you go back. Everybody roll a history check with advantage to make sure that you do things the same, because the only thing making you do things the same is whether or not you remember what you did.
That
A
is
nat
going
20. Sorry.
an unnat 20.
Yeah, I didn't think you guys would have problems,
That's
but
a 17.
yep.
That's a 10.
Yeah, I'm not going to have to do the average math on that. That's definitely above 10 on average. So, all of you make it back to that moment pretty easily. However, before you make it to that moment, as it stands up and reveals itself at its full height, as its thin, fungus-like, ethereal hair blows in the wind, it looks at all of you, and in that same sort of booming area of effect telepathy, it goes,
ClockTower dog, you bastards.
and then...
You sons of bitches!
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And instead of swiping at David, it immediately turns. Everybody roll initiative.
Another nat 20.
Jesus, Reagan's like, not this time!
Rock got a 16!
25!
14.
You know what, I'm just gonna roll. Natural 20.
Oh.
Escalation.
All right.
We roll against each other to see who goes first. I got a natural 1.
14.
Theandra is pleased.
So it is Reagan and then the creature.
Mark that boy. Mark that boy.
I believe that is a bonus action.
I believe you hit it and then you get to mark it
Yep.
as a bonus action.
Mark it.
So I want to shoot its foot and then mark it.
Roll a hit.
I'm gonna add a ClockTower dice to this.
Episodic reminder that you have lucky.
I do have lucky. I'm going to use lucky.
The episodic reminder that you have Lucky.
Thank you so much, Cal.
Lucky in a clock tower agent's hands is so good.
That's great.
Do you
Let's
even-
go. That's a 20.
Oh, yeah.
Natural 20?
No.
Okay.
An unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20. Jaeger, you still adding
Nah,
dice?
I think it's
I
fine.
don't think we need to.
I got a 21 last time and it hit. So
That's over a
if
28,
nothing
so you're
else,
in danger
it's
for any other reason. God dang it. I
if
rolled
nothing
my,
else, it's an escalation.
Oh, you hit. You hit big time.
Cool.
Easy.
I rolled my dice on accident and got a nat 20.
So I hit it and I want to mark it for death. Do you want me to roll damage?
Yeah.
5 points of damage.
So, Reagan, you whip out your gun and shoot the creature in the foot. And again, that purple blood kind of sprays everywhere as it screams out in pain that all of you hear in that same sort of area of effect telepathy. And there's this sort of like shift in the air that your eyes like meet its center, and all of a sudden it's like it glows to you for a moment. And it's almost like that same feeling of like the clock tower's crushing wave, the same feeling of you being recalled, of feeling that circuit connecting when you stand on the stone steps and touch the clock face. You feel that kind of energy link the two of you, and you now know exactly where it is, even when it jumps through a portal and appears 100 feet off in a different part of the city. And you know it's there and it's running.
Come on, guys. I run after it.
David,
Yeah.
I'll explain on the way. And I'm just going to
All right.
grab his hand and just run.
Do you all start running?
Yeah.
With David in my hand. Oh, wait. The teddy bear.
Shit. I go back for it and
So Jaeger
go.
moves junk, grabs teddy bear, and then all of you start hauling ass, running as fast as you can through the city. And it's like running, but it's limping because you shot it in the foot, and it's trying to like get through the city through like only back streets. And it even goes and then jumps through another portal that you can see, because Reagan, you see it like a glowing outline of it slash through and then disappear one place and appear somewhere else, and you're like immediately changing course as all of you run, pursuing the creature through the city of Valance because it can't get away from you. Hey, Ellie again. Thank you for listening. As always, I'd like to thank our producer, Who's, at who's.music, and our Dead Air team, Cal, for making the episodes what they are. I'd also like to thank our sponsor, Alpha Lupine Images, for donating the equipment to help us make more content with better quality. Thank you to Darbii, Cal, Parker, and Trent for their great performances. As always, thank you again for listening. We've mentioned before that we were going to make a production update for the show, a little video, just to tell you what's going on. And we still haven't. But we swear we're going to. It might end up being a mess, but we usually are, so that'll be out soon-ish. As always, we release on a bi-weekly basis. So episode 36 will be out on November 26th. Until then, time's ticking. See you in the clock tower.